order to understand the state's perspective, we have this panel discussion one, wherein the theme is driving road infrastructure development states initiatives. And as we know that the states, all the states are actually, vying for having best of the roads and highways. And because in terms of long-term socio-economic as well as cultural investment, it's only because once, we have this planning of this construction of roads and highways, and also it also leads to, a lot of development activities in terms of, building expectations for the future, generations as well as the current generations to go for the best of the multimodal transport activities. So, in order to understand the perspective of the states, we have curated this panel discussion one, which will be in fact chaired by and moderated by our co-chair of Infrastructure Committee, Mr. Himanshu Agarwal, and we are in fact we are honored to have we have distinguished speakers for this panel, Mr. Rajesh Kampai, IAS Commissioner and Special Secretary Public Works Road, Government of Assam. We have Mr. Kasturi Srinivas, Regional Director, Bentley Systems India, Dr. Harish Sharma, ED, REPL, and Mr. Satin Sachdeva, Secretary General of CERA.
Before that, let's get Dr. Harish Sharma in for his insights on the sector today. Dr. Sharma, good afternoon. Floor is yours, sir. Thank you, Mr. Srinivas.
Thank you, sir.
I'm looking after, business and operation in consulting organization called Rudravishek Enterprise Limited. We are a listed organization in the stock exchange. Actually, today the topic, the points and the components which our speakers has covered was all very interesting and very knowledgeful. I would like to highlight certain points and initiative which which is related to the development of state highways network. Considering, and I know that in panel, Shashank Mishra sir is also present, and I know that MP has done well in developing state highways, MPRDCL. If we talk about, there are certain other states also in India where the subsidiaries are working and they are not so successful, I would say. They are not in a position actually to come up with certain strategy and make a plan for the development of state highways network if we talk about. But there is a lot which can happen because nowadays many good players are coming in, roping into the sector. So I think the state government subsidiaries, the roads and highways corporation and departments which has been created particularly for the development of state highways, they should come up with certain policies and guidelines like HAM has been initiated in national highways. Similarly, the policies and some concessions should come up for the developers to show their interest in developing state highways. So I think there is a need actually. There is a need actually to develop state highways also along with the national highways and certain special projects which are always there in every state. So this was one of the point, and the other points are which are known to everyone because we all are using national highways and newly constructed roads on day-to-day basis. As a consumer, I would propose that as I'm looking after a few NHAI, MORTH, and HIDCL projects as the authority engineer. But during execution, I think as consultant, authority engineers, independent engineers, as well as the executing agencies, they should be maintaining proper diversions. Proper diversions. They should have a proper diversion plan. Dust is a serious issue for the daily users, and which is creating a lot of problem, because construction of a road, it takes time. It's a time-consuming job. So I think our executing and implementing agency should take care of this particular issue. If we talk about the delays, I think utility and land acquisition has been major issue. Uh, we can take an example of Delhi Meerut Expressway, which has consumed a lot of time, a lot of efforts, and still it's in progress. So I think these are the points. And if we talk about the environmental clearance, I think it has become easy nowadays to get the environment clearance and certain other clearances also. But utilities and land acquisition has been major issue during execution and implementation of the highways. And the main important point, if we talk about the state initiative, that is our state-owned, state-run corporation and subsidiaries, which has been created particularly for the roads, state roads. They should come up with a policy which can really attack to the developers and implementing agencies so that the state highways can take shape in a better manner as the national highways. Thank you. I would like to add up my points with this. Thank you.
Dr. Sharma, thank you very much. That was brief but very pointed questions that you raised. It's very true that in addition to the national highways, the state highways and the MDRs, and that's exactly what the Secretary Highways Commissioner Assam was mentioning, need to be developed of a similar quality. And I guess going forward, we also need to look at rural roads as also rural highways. The only difference being the traffic loads, but the quality of the assets that we create should be of the same nature, that's for sure. I think we can open up the panel for a discussion. To start with, let me ask Dr. Sharma, when bulk of the contracts are EPC contracts as authority engineers, do you think that there is a possibility to play a more, I would say, penetrative role in terms of interpreting the regulations and the specifications tailored to the ground conditions? Because one of the things we observe is that we go by the letter of the word, and that also leads to execution delays for the contractors.
I think, I mean, I should be very calculative in communicating this particular question. Question is very good. I mean, both should exercise uh, their their responsibilities. I mean, if we talk about consultant as authority engineer and as well as the implementation agencies, in that we can say the developers and the authorities like NHI, MORTH, NHIDCL. They should exercise their own responsibilities in a proper way, and the consultant should be given a justified. I mean, what I say? I mean, justified. I mean, time and responsibilities and uh, justified. I mean, time. I mean, and responsibility should be given to them actually, and certain. I mean, I won't say. I would not say that. I mean, they should be given free hand kind of thing. I do not want to that. They should be given professional responsibility to do their best. Actually, if we talk about consultant and the implementing agency side, also they should also understand their social responsibilities and their technical and professional responsibilities in implementing the projects. I
So,
could hear any other point in this which is related to your questions. Please repeat it.
my question was more generic in nature because if we are to really construct 70 kilometers of highways every day,
Yes,
I
please.
think it is very pertinent that there has to be a full 360-degree openness in terms of specifications, in terms of alternate material usage. The moment we say we want to use alternate material usage, the specifications may or may not incorporate them beyond giving an open two-liner saying that, okay, we can use, but then the detail will not exist. So one will have to take open calls at the site, at the locations in terms of what's best or not best, which
Right.
may not be correct as time moves on. But irrespective of that, unless we open up the whole sector, I'm not sure as to whether we will be able to cut short the delays. That's where I was asking that question.
Yeah.
Uh,
See, it's a valid point. A good point. First of all, we must not stick to a 70 kilometers a day. First of all, the other point is usage of alternate material. If suppose at times, we are not having certain particular specified material as per the contract, we should certainly be open to accept the available options in the market, so that our work should not stuck up. And decision making should be very fast, which is not at the consultant point. See, consultant is always ready to take a fast decision, but certain decision has to come from the authorities. So that should be fast. That should be in a fast manner. And certainly, we should not be sticking to 70 kilometers a day. And target is also not tough and difficult to achieve. It can surely be achieved in APC contract or HEM contract or any type of PPP contract.
okay, thank